Hey movie enthusiasts, are you ready to smile again? The sequel to the psychological thriller Smile was never out of the question. Don't you think it's impossible for the highest grossing horror movie of 2022 not to return? Today, we're about to take a courtside seat on a roller coaster ride because we're spilling the beans on the potential upcoming Smile 2. So let's get started.
It's smiling at me.
Smile, released in 2022, proved that the horror genre still has quite a bit of scare to offer to the fan. The movie was a perfect example of how the simplest of concepts, executed properly, can have the greatest success in the film industry. Smile undoubtedly opened up a new level of horror in Hollywood. For me, I never wanted to retread and just do something I've already done. I'd want to make sure that it's surprising and different, and not what people were expecting after the first one, said Parker Finn, the director and scriptwriter of Smile 2022. This statement raised two speculations in the movie world. One was the shining confirmation of Smile 2, and the other was the affirmation of a long wait. But guess what? The wait is about to be over. Paramount has confirmed that Smile 2 will be returning to theaters in 2024. The best news ever for the Smile fans. In a nutshell, Smile is a movie about a simple smile, but it scared the audience and was on edge from start to finish. The original Smile follows Dr. Rose Cotter, who has 7 days to figure out how to successfully evade demise from an evil spirit after witnessing her patient's death. Psychiatric specialist Dr. Rose Cotter, played by American actress Sosie Bacon, has dedicated her life to caring for the most mentally damaged members of society. She was a girl who was traumatized by witnessing her mother's suicide at age 10 due to a drug overdose. The story slowly develops when Rose briefly meets Laura, played by Caitlin Stasey, a PhD student who's brought to the psychiatric emergency ward of Mount Pleasant Hospital, where Rose worked. She was shaking and terrified that something was out to get her, since she had witnessed one of her professors bludgeoning himself to death with a hammer 4 days earlier.
It's smiling at me. But not a friendly smile.
The movie reaches one of its peaks when Laura turns to Rose with a psychotic grin on her face, taking a piece of broken crockery and carving a crescent into her own throat. Soon, Rose starts to see her own horrible smirking figures and jumps on a race against time to understand the transferable curse, which has a deadlock onto her, a malicious parasitic presence which feeds on trauma. The lingering trauma and the fears and stigma that surround Rose become the thematic thread for the whole movie. The people around Rose, including Trevor, played by Jesse T. Usher, her therapist Dr. Northcott, and her sister Holly, certainly seem to think that she's hallucinating rather than a supernatural problem until it's way too late. The only person who believed her was her ex-boyfriend Joel, played by Kyle Gallner, a cop who's been assigned to Laura's case. Their tentative team opens the door to the film's mystery element, which makes up much of Smile's long half, which is around 150-minute runtime. The horror elements are disturbing to match the dark theme. This sadistically effective horror has many similarities to The Ring, It Follows, and more. The movie takes a turn where Rose decides to face her childhood trauma and fear. Rose drives to her deserted childhood home where her mother died. Inside, Rose confronts a vision of her mother, who accuses Rose of allowing her to die. While Rose confronts her guilt of letting her mother die, the vision morphs into a lanky creature that attacks Rose. Rose keeps backing up, but Rose is no longer afraid. She realizes that the creature is in her mind, so as long as she's not afraid, she can take charge. She instantly burned down the creature. At last, she walks out and watches the house burn. She returns to Joel to apologize to him for keeping a distance from her. The movie hikes there. Joel starts smiling just the way Laura did. Soon, Rose realizes that she never actually left her intact childhood home. She loses. Rose sinks to her knees to the creature. Before the film ends, she lights up a match and burns herself to death while Joel watches. It's obvious that the sequel to Smile 2020 is very much one of Finn's priorities. The $17 million film earned more than $200 million worldwide. There is no better reason for a sequel to get cooked up. There is no doubt that the success will be replicated yet again. But we can't ignore the fact that one of the toughest jobs is to please people with a sequel for Smile because of how dang entity the previous one was. The ending of Smile was incredibly shocking, but it has potentially set up a sequel following Joel, Rose's ex-boyfriend. However, it is still unknown if Smile 2 will follow directly from the original Smile. There is a possibility that Finn picks up with a new protagonist trying to escape the sinister curse of the Smile entity. Since Rose didn't make it out of Smile alive, the door was far from shut on the franchise. Now it's known Smile 2 is going ahead. There's plenty of speculation about who will be battling the demonic entity next. The list is wide open. A news that excited the audience was one addition to the main cast of Smile. Now, guess who? It's none other than Naomi Scott. I know that you're as shocked as I am right now. Though no details have been revealed about the character just yet, the rumors are so strong that we'll be able to see Naomi Scott in Smile 2 in a leading role. She can be the newest protagonist to be haunted by the terrifying Smile entity. Another possibility that her casting suggests is a sequel featuring an entirely new assembly of characters, but let's not ignore the possibility of a supporting character in Joel's story. Now, talking about Kyle Gallner, the speculations are so high that he will be returning as the main character. Therefore, there could be a reprisal of his role as a detective, and he'll be joined by several new faces whose roles haven't yet been revealed. Lucas Gage of Fargo fame will play a role in the new movie, along with Rosemarie DeWitt. Now, who all will return? From the ending of Smile, it's unlikely that Smile 2 could follow Sosie Bacon's Rose again, but there are still plenty of cast members who could return. Kyle Gallner, who plays Rose's detective ex-boyfriend Joel, has already been confirmed to return to the sequel's cast, as we discussed earlier. At the same time, Jesse T. Usher, Trevor, Rose's fiancé, and Gillian Zinser, Holly, could both come back as well. Finally, every horror movie needs a monster, which means that Marty Matulis returning as a Smile monstrosity would be a must for Smile 2. How can we possibly resist speculating the possible plot? There are multiple directions available for the scriptwriter to take the Smile 2 story forward. The ending of the original Smile is in such a way that even a new protagonist can be effortlessly accommodated. One potential follow-up, and the most anticipated one, could follow Joel, who would be trying to outrun the demon after witnessing Rose's death in the climax of the movie. He may pick up where Rose left off in her investigation and surrender to the demon. Not only would Joel be under the pressure of having 7 days to prevent his death, but as the last person who saw Rose alive, he would have a lot of questions to answer, which makes the ride curious for him as well as the audience. However, director Parker Finn's statements imply that he would not prefer bringing up something similar to the original Smile. Therefore, the next installment could also come in the form of a prequel or a spin-off that expands the new world in Smile 2. Naomi Scott is also pointing towards such a spin-off. The possibility of tracking the origin of the Smile demon is in life, which can end up in the story of Laura, who literally horrified most of the audience. Now, how long is the wait? The Smile 2 release date has been set for October the 18th, 2024, as per Paramount Production. This will mean the Smile sequel will arrive around 2 years after the original. The longer the wait, the better the reward, right? It will also have a theatrical release, just like the first movie. While there's no news on when it will be available to stream, it's expected that Smile 2 will also make its way to Paramount+. The only thing certain right now is, it's always worth the wait, and we're in for an exciting and emotional rollercoaster in the future. What are your predictions about Smile 2? Comment them down below, and don't forget to like the video and share it with your fellow fan. Let the wait soon be over. Meanwhile, make sure you check in by pressing the bell icon, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Smile's a story that